Today on the Best of Raleigh, I am so excited to welcome Martha Schneider, the talented owner of La Maison and Floral Boutique Trellis right here in North Hills. Martha has a truly unique gift for turning homes into beautiful functional spaces with her unique style and her Afro detail. From new builds to renovations, she is all about bringing her clients' vision to life, often with a touch of European floral flair. Martha has just opened a brand new showroom right here in North Hills, and if you haven't seen it, you've got to come over. Are you ready for some design inspiration? Well, let's jump right in. Martha, thank you so much for being on the Best of Raleigh. You have been one of the icons that I have been trying to get on.
You're so kind. Thank you for having me. I admire your business and all that you're doing for Raleigh.
Welcome to the Best of Raleigh with your host and real estate expert, Gretchen Coley, owner of the Coley Group. This show is all about the people and places that make the Raleigh area so special. Here's your host, Gretchen Coley.
Well, there's something about being an awesome female business owner, right? We're coming into our own. So that being said, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Gosh, who am I? I am a wife of 33 years with my husband, Kevin, and we have 3 grown children and a new son-in-law that live in New York City.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I am an interior designer and business owner and a lover of all things beautiful.
Yeah, you know, you are a lover of all things beautiful because there is nothing around you that is not beautiful.
No.
From everything I see you wearing to your store. And that being said, before we get to the new storefront and shop, how did La Maison start? What was the beginning of that?
Yeah, it's such a great question. So many people have asked, and we moved to Raleigh 21 years ago, and I had been dabbling in interior design prior to arriving here with my husband and my family. And I immediately got involved and connected with some builders that were doing spec houses.
Yeah.
And started to accumulate a design base of clients. And when I would go to finish the project, there was nowhere to find home furnishings and accessories to style the project. So unfortunately, the mortgage crisis came and went pretty quickly in Raleigh. I think Raleigh recovered well. And soon after Raleigh's recovery, I came home. And as the story goes, I said to my husband, I'm doing it. And I didn't have to explain any further because he knew I was a woman on a mission to open a store here in Raleigh of home furnishings that would be open for all people that wanted to do design work themselves, but also put my interior design business forward to the community of Raleigh.
You know, I love that story. I love that you've been in Raleigh for 21 years. I moved here 24 years ago. 23 years ago. I don't know. We lose a year here or there. But deciding to be a woman who goes from this freelancing kind of thing where you're just taking on projects, and a spec house is a house that a builder's building on inventory to sell. And you design those, and you're probably doing it out of your house.
Yeah, I am.
You probably have all your stuff right there with you.
I still stay at home with my kids.
Yeah, so you could be at home.
Yes.
And then at some point you decide, okay, I want to have a brick and mortar. You know, I don't know what your husband said when you said that to him, but my husband said to me, absolutely not. You don't want to hold the keys to anything.
Yes.
When you hold the keys, you're going to be the one showing up on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes.
It takes a lot of courage to do
lot.
that.
It's a
Where
lot.
how did you get, like, what did you lean into to make that happen?
Yeah. I'm a very courageous person, number one. I'm afraid of very little. However, the journey of my youth of working in retail when I was 15, working in clothing stores, my original career was in fashion. I got the bug for retail, and I used that throughout the years in my career. And when I switched over to doing interior design, it just felt so natural for me to jump back into this arena that was a passion of mine. And Raleigh didn't have anything at the time. And I do find that in the 21 years I've lived here, I've said, oh, I wish Raleigh had a home furnishing store. Oh, I wish Raleigh had a floral shop, very much like the Parisian floral shops. And I decided to make it happen and take the chance.
Well, I love that because you've had a store in North Hills for 10 years,
I have.
correct? A little bit smaller version of what you have
Yes,
today. But
yes.
last year, in 2024, you opened the new store, correct?
In 23.
So at the end of 2023, this new fabulous store opened in Raleigh, and it was all, hidden. It was all behind
Yes.
the cardboard
Yes,
papers and stuff. And you could tell something fabulous was happening. And when they put up the atrium, I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Exactly.
And I was like, I just can't wait to see this. So let's talk about the new space.
Yeah. So in 2014, I opened La Maison in 1,700 square feet and put the studio there and waited for Raleigh to
catch up.
And learn how to pronounce La Maison.
I just learned how to myself, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, it was a challenge, but it spoke to my love for all things French. But I didn't want it to be a French infused store only because I also love things that are relevant and contemporary. And I think being in Raleigh, getting to know my clients, they had antiques from their family ancestry, and I loved contemporary, and so we opened the store with this feel of a transitional aesthetic. And then it wasn't soon after that I said, I need to have a floral shop because, again, Raleigh didn't have anything like it where you could wander off the street and have this experience of pulling your own flowers and small arrangements and hand-trimmed topiary. And so we opened that right before the Corona ordeal, and
that was Trellis.
And that was Trellis by La Maison, and that was across the driveway. And it wasn't soon after that I said, this isn't going to work. It's got to all be together, and it's my dream to have what we accomplished in 2023, which is the 4,000 square feet of having the showroom with home furnishings, lighting, accessories, gifts, the atelier, which is our interior design studio, and then the floral boutique with the stems. And as you noted, my dream was to create a solarium, which had never been done here in Raleigh, and have a wonderful design destination for all of the community to experience.
Well, it has just become such a landmark. Not that Trellis or La Maison were not landmarks when they were separate. Now it is a landmark. Like, I know that if I need to get a quick gift for someone, I can go in there and I'm going to make one stop, and whatever special thing they need that's going to make them feel special, I'm going to find there. I'm going to go there for my florals. Sometimes just a small little tiny arrangement in a bud vase can make someone's day.
Yes.
And a lot of my clients come to you and they get flowers on a weekly rotation for their home.
Absolutely.
And which is such a beautiful service.
Absolutely.
But if you haven't been in, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see some video and some photos of what is in the store. But if you haven't been in, you need to take a minute and just wander through, because it will absolutely be a journey of the senses. You start at the front, you wander through, the living room setups and the gorgeous tablescapes and the gifts, and all of this is mixed in, and then you get to tell me the design name again.
La Maison Atelier.
Atelier.
Which
So,
means studio in
learning,
French.
I'm learning all kinds of fabulous
La Maison
words
is
here
home
today.
in French, and atelier is studio in French.
I love that.
Yes.
And then you get to Trellis.
Yes.
And it just feels so special. It really feels like you are wandering down a French street with a little Southern flair.
With a little Southern flair.
And some contemporary, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. It's a fun experience for us to be in the environment every day. As I tell all of our employees, when you work in retail, you need to expect change. every day there's change. There's change in the store. There's change who's wandering through. There's change with new flowers. There's change with our new clients in the atelier. And, you know, you mentioned wandering through. We actually, over the last 10 years, have had a few ladies, and you know who you are, that come on your lunch hour to experience, like you said, the wonderful change and environment of the senses at the store. And that's super special for me.
That is so special. There is
Yes.
not another place in Raleigh like this. And I will tell you, when I say landmark, I don't say that lightly. You have such a loyal following. There's something to be said for that, because Raleigh has been building over the last 20 years.
has.
You've seen a significant
A
change
significant
in where we
change,
are.
yes.
We are definitely becoming a more metropolitan city.
Absolutely.
And you know, I was at an opening for another store here in North Hills last week. My husband and I were there, and usually when we go to anything, we know pretty much everybody.
Right.
You can't walk 3 or 4 feet
Right.
without seeing someone. We walked through the whole four floors and ended up top, and he looked at me and he said, I don't know that I've been in a place in Raleigh ever and known as few people. And I said, John, half of these people didn't live in Raleigh 5 years ago.
That's exactly right.
But your client base is with you. They're coming in all the time.
Yes.
They rave about you.
Thank
You
you.
give such a client experience. Tell me about that. What can
Yeah.
someone expect when they
Yeah.
come in for design services?
Yeah. You know, my biggest goal is collaboration and finding their sweet spots of how they want to live and what their aesthetic is, what makes them light up with their home. And I find that we become good friends through the process, and we get to the end of having what I hope always is something that they're very proud of, but they live in a functional way that makes their life easier.
I agree with that. That's what they say about you. And
Oh,
it's just,
thank you.
I know when I walk into a space that was designed by you and your team, I know it. It has your fingerprints all over it. So what are the new design trends that are
Yeah.
coming in 2025?
Yeah,
You know?
so many new things are changing.
Gray's
and
gone.
Gray's
Color's
gone.
back,
Thank
right?
God.
I know.
I'm such a color girl,
Yeah.
even though I'm not wearing it today. I have learned over the years that many of my clients come to me because I actually do use color. And I have realized that for me, it creates such joy and power in whatever color you're using. Nothing against the neutrals, because there's a sensibility with using all neutrals. But I do find that when I'm designing for a client, I yearn to have a touch of color that might spark their personality, whether it would be in art or in fabrics. And we lean to very high-end fabrics. I work very hard at curating either the showroom or the styling that we do for clients, or the fabrics and trims that we do for our clients, that it's very unique to the project. And for me, I think color is definitely returning, even at a higher level than I've seen. And pattern play.
Pattern play and textures.
Pattern play and textures. And the fun for me in that is pushing our clients a little out of their comfort zone to try a mix of patterns that might have, you know, complementary colors that they're used to seeing something all in one color palette. In the old days, I've studied a lot about color and art, and my journey includes a lot of study with those components. So it's important for me down to the detail that a trim or a wall color or your texturous fabric all play together well.
Well, and I think when it comes to home, that self-expression that you keep talking about is really important. And so for us, when we're working with someone to find a home, it's a collaboration as well. It's a partnership of how are you going to live?
Exactly.
What do you want to feel in this space? Because home was always important, but after COVID, it became extremely important.
Absolutely.
People didn't realize how much their space impacted their emotion. It's a completely different ballgame now.
It is.
And so really helping someone to dial in into what that looks like for them is really important, because I will tell you, I'm a real estate agent. People always see me dressed. I'm pretty outgoing and I'm pretty vivacious.
Yes.
I could wear Lululemon and still be the same way. But when it comes to putting an outfit together, I have to see it on a mannequin. I don't do well with color. I don't do well with textures. I'm afraid of taking risks
Interesting.
because I don't know how to pull it all together, but I'm the same with home design. So if you walked into a house I designed, it would probably all be one color with some, mix match. But I would play it safe.
Yes.
Playing it safe is not self-expression.
Right.
For most people.
But I hear what you're saying, but in contrast, you haven't played it safe with starting your business, starting this podcast.
Yeah.
And I think as your designer, I would encourage you to take a few more risks.
Yeah.
And enjoy the personality that you
Absolutely.
absolutely share with the community.
And you know what I love when I'm working with someone is I love to give them an idea of vision and for them to go pull it all together. And the less decisions that I have to make,
that's another
the
part of it.
better.
That's
And
right.
you're really good at that.
I
Your
enjoy
team
that.
is very good at that.
I enjoy that. I have a combination, we laugh about it in my home, that I'm extremely mathematical. I have a business degree and I'm extremely creative. So for me, the passion of working with clients is solving the problems they're handing me in a way that makes it easiest for
Yes.
them, and then putting the creative touch that makes them feel joyous about the project. So I look at things, I'm dialing things, with solving problems and with using the creativity to make the project work and come together.
It's beautiful when it happens, and it is very rare. But I'm the same way. I have this business mind and this creative mind, and my creativity sparks around marketing.
Yes.
So I can do the same thing. I
Yes.
can get you to
Yes.
step out of your comfort zone. So we'll have to talk more about this, like
Absolutely.
getting me out of my comfort
Yes,
zone when it
I'd
comes
love
to design.
I would love
So
to.
why Raleigh? You've been here, you've invested here, your passion is here, and I can hear when you talk about it how much you love it here.
Yeah.
Why? What's so special about it?
We came to Raleigh on a transfer with my husband's executive job, and we were previously in Connecticut. We've lived in outside of Chicago. We've lived in Atlanta, where we were married, but we grew up in the Midwest. So we've had a little taste of different communities and cultures, and when we came to Raleigh, it was a really charming, beautiful area. Of course, the
beautiful.
joy of 3 hours to the beach and 3 hours to the mountain is an amazing position to be in every day. And then Raleigh was what you described. It was quiet. It wasn't roaring yet. And here we are 20 years ago, and we have wonderful restaurants. We have wonderful housing areas, and we have a downtown that's coming back with a huge roar. And Raleigh has received us and received the businesses that I run with open arms. So it's been really great.
And with all of that roaring growth, it has not lost that sense of hospitality.
Absolutely
Where
not.
you probably work with people every day who move here, they come to you, they have no friends. Within 4 or 5 weeks, they've got a network of people.
Absolutely.
Because there are so many transplants here.
A lot of transplants, and more every day, right? You're probably seeing all
Every
the numbers.
day,
And
yeah.
so we're feel like we are in a good position in our business and being in North Hills and working with realtors, that it's a wonderful place to be and watch the future of Raleigh explode.
What's next, Martha?
Oh,
I know
my
that
husband said-
I know that your competitive brain has something going on in there.
I can't. My husband said, enough. You have 3 businesses. And trust me,
it's actually one business.
It's
all
one
in one.
businesses all combined. Yes, exactly. But there are days I drive down the road and I think, oh, if only Raleigh had. But what's next for me is just to watch this business grow. And we have people coming from the Wilmington area that come visit us, from Chapel Hill that come visit us, and they make it a point. And people that are in for the weekends are so excited to be in the store. And so we just want to take what we have and make it the best it can be.
How does it feel to have created a space that people want to be in? That's going to be my last question.
Yeah.
Because it's got to feel so good to you.
It feels so good. I have to say that, it's a passion project.
Yeah.
It is something that I've always thought about doing. And I remember sitting at a dinner table with a group of women that said, wow, you really jumped off the cliff. And I said, I did, and I wasn't afraid. But what gets me out of bed every morning are the customers that come in and say, I just love coming in here. And it just fills my heart with joy that I've created this environment that people want to come and want to talk about it and want to share great things about it. And it fills me up with a lot of pride and joy.
Well, you're exceptional. And for those of you who are listening, if you haven't been in, you have to check it out. Where can we find you physically and online?
Yeah, so it's lamaisonraleigh.com, and physically we are over in the Lassiter district at North Hills, which is, I guess I would say over in the Total Wine District, if I can say that, on the opposite side. And we have the full back spread and around the corner. So we have 4,000 square feet there. It's fully windows, so it's bright and light. And of course, the solarium adds the charming touch.
It really does. And I can't wait to go pop in there and get the video footage. I'm sure I'm going to come out of there with some fabulous holiday gifts, because I bet your store is stocked.
We are full.
Well, thank you so much, Martha, for coming on today.
Much.
I appreciate it. And you've heard, we absolutely think Raleigh is super special, and we hope that you do too. This show is all about sharing with you the people, the places, and the businesses that you need to know in Raleigh and you need to do business with, and La Maison is one of them. So for those of you who are thinking about making a move into Raleigh or around in our suburbs, we would love to be your go-to real estate team for exceptional customer service and to make sure that you find exactly your slice of heaven in Raleigh. We drop a brand new episode every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and we would love to see you at La Maison in North Hills and on the next Best of Raleigh. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Gretchen.
That was so good.